Question: have you ever dreamed of writing a book? If you have, I have some great news. Here's the truth. Every day you wait, you're missing opportunities to establish yourself as the authority, attract new clients, make a lasting impact. But let's be honest, writing a book can feel overwhelming. Figuring out where to start, creating a plan, and navigating the entire process can feel impossible, especially when you're juggling everything else on your plate this year. That's where selfpublishing.com comes in. Over the past few years, their team has helped over 8,000 people in nearly 100 countries, including coaches, entrepreneurs, and business professionals, turn their ideas into best-selling books. The proven process includes step-by-step coaching and world-class book production services, including expert editing, formatting, and cover design, to make the journey simple and achievable. The new year is the perfect time to take action. Don't let another year pass by without achieving your dream of writing a book. Visit selfpublishing.com/DNA to register for a free 1-hour masterclass that I'm co-hosting with Chandler Bolt, the founder and CEO of selfpublishing.com. In this masterclass, you're going to gain actionable tools to write, publish, and share your book with the world. Go to selfpublishing.com/DNA.
And I'll say one thing, if you've been watching this podcast, if anything has triggered you, there's been anything that's triggered you, we're like, that's the thing.
That's it.
You need to work on.
Yeah.
That's it. And so that's how I found my greatness, was realizing that the things that triggered me were the things that I needed to change right now. And my fitness was one of them. I was very out of shape, and my wife triggered me, and it really upset me. And then I got over my ego, and I owned it, and I looked in the mirror, and I made a decision to change.
What is up, Entrepreneur DNA? I could not be more excited about this episode. I have a friend of mine. He's been on the podcast before. In fact, on YouTube, on Apple, and all of my platforms, this is the highest ranked, most downloaded YouTube video / podcast we've done. My friend, Andy Elliott, is here, my guy.
Last time we did it virtually.
Yeah, we did.
So now we're face to face. So this is gonna be some heat. And by the way, it's cool because it's the beginning of the year. So there's a lot of people want to kick this year off right. So I think this is really gonna count. So grab a pen, grab a piece of paper.
Oh, it's gonna be on, people. If you don't know Andy Elliott, immediately go follow him. And by the way, you must be living under a rock if you don't know this man. His trajectory over the last 2 years has been just lightning. I mean, you are on a rocket ship. Being able to watch from afar, it is unbelievable the impact you've made on so many business owners, entrepreneurs, myself, and so many others, bro. And so I'm in your house. I'm in the Lion's Den. Yeah. We are here in your studio.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for having me, bro. I'm excited about it.
Thank you. And by the way, I want everybody to know the power of a brand is super powerful, but also the power of relationships is super powerful. I think relationship currency, relationship capital is like something that people they never learn about.
Yep.
And honestly, a lot of people are like, what's in it for me? And then like when I met you, we've carried a relationship over the last 2 years. I could ask you for anything. You can ask me for anything. I wish everybody would just understand this, that you're one relationship away from just changing your whole life. You're one handshake away from, shaking someone's hand that'll change your whole life. I'm a business owner. I didn't always want to own my business, right? I wanted to work for someone. If before I started my business, right, I would have been the greatest employee ever, and I would have blown someone's business up, but I didn't meet that right person. And I want to tell you this, whether you're watching this right now and you're an entrepreneur, right, which means you're going to go blow someone else's business up and be the number 2 and be amazing, and you're going to build an awesome team, or whether you're going to be the business owner, I assure you that everything that we're just about to talk about will show you how to capitalize, how to win, and how to be the best. Because like podcasts, I don't do them to just like be cool. Like I want to give tactical information. I want to give things that will transform and change your life. And if you're broke right now, if you're struggling, if you have issues right now, I assure you the most simplest way to change everything in your life is you're attracting who you are right now. Who you are is everything that you're attracting. And so when you change, which is why we listen to self-development, entrepreneurship, is so we can recreate, reinvent, be reborn, and so that we can attract different stuff. And the reason why I blew up really quick is because I change really fast.
Yeah.
And I didn't do that my whole life.
Yeah.
And so I just want to tell you, anybody watching this, I was 39 when I changed my life. I made money. It fell through my hands. I wasn't proud of myself. I wasn't the husband, the daddy. I wasn't the mentor. I wasn't any of these things that I am today. I wasn't physically fit. And all those things changed because I listened to a speaker, one podcast, one speaker, one event, one YouTube video can totally change your whole life. And I know that because I'm living proof of it. So I just want to say, like, maybe this is their video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, it's I mean, I'm getting shivers just because I'm also a product. I'm at a place now where I used to be the person in the seat.
Yeah.
Now I'm the guy on the stage.
And I bet you're still the person in the seat. I want to make sure anybody knows that watching this right now. I still, every quarter, I still go to an event. I sit down, I listen every day. The greatest gift you can ever give yourself is spending time working on you.
That's right.
And dude, like if you once I'm like, oh, I'm the teacher. No, dude, you're always the student. Okay. The greatest students are the best teachers. And so if once you stop being a student, you're a horrible teacher.
Yeah.
And so I just want to tell you, when he said that, I was in that seat, no, that means that he started in that seat, but you're still in that seat.
Sure.
You're still learning every day. You're still soaking it up. And because the day you stop is the day you go back.
That's right. Yeah. But for me now, I'm a student at so many different levels, right? Like you've built a business and I'm watching you and I'm hitting you up and you're giving me suggestions. I mean, you were literally saying, Justin, do this little thing over here because it'll bring in 30,000 more people into your world. You can never stop being that, right? Masterminds. I'm a big believer in masterminds. I'm in 2 different masterminds each and every year around business, real estate. Never stop being a student. I mean, you couldn't be more clear on that because when you think you're at the top and there's no one better, that's when you essentially flatline and die. I mean, that just doesn't exist. There's always someone higher, right? But you have done something so unique and I just appreciate the brand that you've built. And I did want to lean into what you talked about people because you are a handshake away from a relationship that could connect and change your life. The collaboration movement I'm on in 2025, all my listeners know this, 2025 to me is collaboration and probably for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
I don't need to be the one guy. I don't need to make all the money. I think there's more money in me and you than there is just me and vice versa and so on and so on. But talk about the power of your brain and how that leads into the collaboration side.
Yeah, well, number one, so alignment. I was telling you about alignment, right? I want to find people. So my wife says, all right, what do you want in 2025? I'm like, I want to put the right men in my life. If you're a man watching this, there's 2 things that'll ruin a man's life. Number one, having the wrong woman. I love women. I'm just telling you, dude. I guess a woman could have the wrong man and ruin her life.
There's no doubt.
But for a man, I'm just speaking because 80% of my business is men. And I love women. They're amazing. They're coming up so quick. But I love family men, okay? If you take a man and he's got kids and he's got a wife, he's dangerous because he's got something there that's more than money. If it's all just about money, it'll slow you down. But when you got something that'll anchor you to something like a family, it makes you really dangerous. It's hard to compete with someone that has a family, okay?
And bro, by the way, I've had your wife on the episode too.
Yeah,
she's unbelievable, man. I mean, you are the lucky man, right? And I know you know that, but she's unbelievable. She's a great mother. She's a great wife. She helps run the business. Like, she's dynamic.
Well, I think every man that's watching this that has a woman is a lucky man. The question is are you developing your wife? One of the greatest things that I did is when I made a decision to change, I took my family with me. And I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake that I see people doing right now is they don't take their wife with them. They don't talk business with their wife. They don't take their kids with them. They don't explain anything to their families. And then that's why their families end up living without them. They maybe aren't telling you that right now, but I promise you that they are. Okay. And so I made a really good decision. I said, babe, anywhere I go, I want you there with me. Any conversation that I'm having, I want you to be in the room with me, whether your wife is a part of your business or not. Never underestimate the fact that you don't think that she understands. She understands. I promise you she does. Yeah. And if she doesn't understand, help her understand so that you guys can make big goals together. And plus she can support you to go to higher levels. One of the reasons why my wife is great, she was great when I married her, but she is self-developed. And just like I need to work on me so I can make our family strong, my wife works on her so that she can make our family strong. And if she's working on her and I'm working on me, can you imagine what we're doing together? It's psycho. But so many times you get a man, he's just working on himself, and you got a woman, she's just taking care of the family, but she's not working on herself. And then all of a sudden she finds her security in her man, which is great. And I love that, but she finds who she is. And when she becomes lost, she's like beating him down, and he's like, babe, stop nagging me, stop doing this, because she's lost her own identity. Yeah. My wife needs to have her own identity, who she is. She needs to have her own dreams. I want my wife to be an independent woman, but just like I'm an independent man, but we're together so we make each other strong. Yeah. And I'm going to tell you this is important. So if anybody's watching this, they got a relationship, you can't compete with somebody, right, that has a good home life. Look, if you're just as good as me in business or even better, but I have a better home life than you, I'm going to crush you. And guess why? Because even if you're more talented than me and you work harder than me, in 2 years, your life is going to self-destruct and you will destroy your life.
Yeah.
And you're going to lose everything around you. You'll lose your business. You'll lose your momentum. You'll be emotionally drained. And here I am on fire, crushing it.
That's right.
That's why the family values is so important. A lot of people are like, dude, I thought you had a sales channel. I'm sick of hearing about your wife, your kids, your family. Well, the number one thing that ruins business people, why they never max out their full potential, is because their family gets destroyed while trying to build a great business.
Yeah.
Any business person that's watching this already knows what I'm talking about, and you can't fight it. And if you haven't felt it yet, it's coming.
Yeah.
The devil attacks the family. Okay? He attacks what's valuable. And he doesn't want your money. He wants to attack your family.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why if you can keep your family together, you take them with you, you dream big, you go hard, you self-develop them along the journey. They also are working on themselves. You're working on themselves. And then now you go to business. Oh my gosh.
What's your mission in 2025? I mean, I think we just heard a lot of it.
Yeah. Well, it's impact. Listen, here's what I'll tell you. I think along the way, God is showing more. And by the way, when I say the word God, I'm not trying to play the God card. I have a relationship with Jesus. I love Jesus. I'm a born again Christian. I'm saved by grace, right? I am a sinner, a big sinner. I've had the worst past. You can look up anything and everything on me. Go Google Andy Elliott. You'll see all the things I did wrong, the people I ran with, the mistakes that I made. And you'll say, oh my God, what a horrible person. Everything in self-development is biblical. The Apostle Paul, the one that took the Bible the furthest, if you read the Bible, he was once Saul. He was the Christian killer. He was the worst of the worst. And Jesus chose him to take the book the furthest. I'm telling you, if you're watching this and you're full of shame and you're like, oh, I could never create anything big. I can't be like that. That's exactly the devil's greatest tool, is devastation. And I felt shame and devastation, and I said for so long, I can't come back from this one.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants you to think. And I'm trying to tell you this. I changed all that, man. And I believed, I'm like, okay, cool, I can do this. And I felt forgiven. And I'm going to tell you this, man, nobody can give you validation you're going to make it. If you believe you're going to make it, if you're right with God, you're going to make it. That's it. It's the way it goes. And that's why I'm in the land of the underdog. I hate rich people. I am a broke person with money. We have $100 million business. I am a broke person with money. I hate rich people. Rich people look down on me my whole life. As I was making mistakes when I was younger, as I was trying to be a better person, instead of anybody being a damn leader and trying to pull me under their wing and try to help me, you know what they do? Oh, that's a bad kid. Well, you know what happens when you tell somebody their whole life they're a bad kid? You're a bad person. You're a bad person. You're a bad person. You think you're a bad person. If anybody's got a kid right now, go tell your kid he's bad every day. Don't be surprised when he ends up being a bad person. And that's why I love my wife so much, is because she told me that she sees me as a good person, even when I wasn't good. And I'm going to tell you this, man. That's why I love this self-development game so much, is because your mind is not your friend. No one else is going to believe in you. Everybody in this world is I would say this, doubt's a traitor. Everyone's going to doubt you. But you can never doubt you. You can never doubt you. You can never quit. You got to think long range, and you got to realize that winners live where quitters quit. And if you just stick to something for 2 or 3 years, here's what I'll tell you. Anybody watching this right now, in 2 or 3 years will change your whole life. Everything that I have right now, if you'd have told me 3 years ago, right, that this would happen, I would tell you impossible.
No way.
I'd tell you impossible.
And it's a good time to take this idea, and for all of you doing this right now, you need to really rewind what we just went through, because
I spoke really fast because we said we weren't going to run forever.
But it is the start of the year.
Yeah.
So someone right now and says, I have this past, I have this thing, 2024, I was an idiot, I fucked up, I messed up, I did a big blah. How does that person right now listen to Andy Elliott, Justin Colby, and say, I'm going to go change moving forward? Because too many people get caught up in what happened already. Yeah. And it literally stalls them. It stops them.
I'll tell you exactly how to do it. So number one, you need to write this down. And you need to write it down from this day forward. Dude, that's all that matters is from this day forward, from today forward. Your past, it's already done.
Yeah.
You can't, listen, a storybook, it's already wrote. Okay. Who do you look up to? People with the greatest testimonies. What movies do you like to watch? The ones that come back. Why is Rocky such a great movie? Because he got the hell beat out of him and he came back and won.
Yeah.
Anybody that's watching this right now, I pray that you've gotten the hell beat out of you. I pray that it's been tough. All that stuff was made so you would have mental toughness, so that you would have fortitude, so you'd have perseverance. By the way, I don't care how talented you are. I see we're in a world right now with talented people who are very unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that again. We are in a world of talented people. Knowledge is everywhere. People are very educated who are still unsuccessful. Why? Perseverance.
Yeah. They don't have the stamina to eat a shit sandwich and keep going.
They won't push through. That's why I said 2-3 years. If you just write it down, 2-3 years, 2-3 years, 2-3 years, I'll promise you.
And they mentally
You
break.
win.
I think the challenge I have as an educator, and you're an educator, is when people hit that roadblock, and it doesn't even have to be big, but because of how they were conditioned as a child or the things earlier on in their life, they actually stop. They don't have the stamina. They won't keep pushing forward. They don't have the fortitude, but they'll look to Andy Elliott or Justin Colby and say, I want what they want. But then they won't actually, you got to take a look in the mirror and say, are you actually doing the things that you're saying you want?
Yeah,
Because if you're
discipline.
not,
Yeah.
you don't have any discipline.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, it's January 2025. I'm going to do this. It's a new year, new me, all that bullshit. Right. And it's like, but are your actions replicating the things that you say you want or who you want to be? Did you know that publishing your own book is one of the fastest ways to grow your business, build trust, and increase your income? But let's face it, getting started can feel impossible. Mindset hurdles like imposter syndrome and doubt can feel overwhelming, and busy schedules don't help either. It's completely normal to feel stuck when starting something so big, but you don't have to do it alone. Every day you delay, you're leaving money and opportunities on the table, not to mention the chance to share your story with the world. That's why selfpublishing.com, the leading resource for writing and self-publishing, has helped thousands of aspiring authors turn their ideas into best-selling books. They don't just help you with publishing, they show you how to use your book to grow your business, generate high-quality leads, land speaking gigs, and unlock new revenue streams. With expert author success coaches, step-by-step training, and world-class book production services, including editing, formatting, and cover design, they simply make publishing simple and stress-free. Now is the time to make your New Year's resolution a reality. Visit selfpublishing.com/DNA to register for a free 1-hour masterclass where I'm co-hosting with their founder, Chandler Bolt. During the session, we'll share the exact step to writing and publishing a book that could add 7 figures to your business this year alone. Again, you can register for free for the upcoming masterclass by visiting selfpublishing.com/DNA.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a trick. By the way, everything you said is exactly right. Discipline is the key to success. I want to ask everybody one question. Would you guys stay in a relationship with somebody that constantly lied to you?
Hell no.
That's why people hate themselves.
Mm.
That's the only reason why people don't like themselves, why they're not good to themselves, and why they don't follow through on anything, is because they don't keep their word. I'm going to tell you this right now. This is so important because this is what changed my life. So by the way, I'm not teaching you right now. I'm telling you how I changed my life, and I hope that it will help you change yours.
That's it.
I started keeping my word. Crazy thing is that the eyes are the window to the soul. When I started keeping my word, my eyes changed.
Mm.
Dude, go watch my old videos. My eyes, I was a different human.
Mm.
I truly believe as you go to new levels, you recreate, truly become a different person. Your identity shifts into a different human. And there is a person, there's millions of levels waiting in us, and they're dying to come out. I kill off the old self every day. And so can you go. Everybody watching this can do this. This is not in theory. This can happen. It's the way I'm living. And I'm telling you, one of the biggest ways that really helped me change my life is, and I'm going to use Jesus for a minute, is the devil owns this world, and your flesh wants sin. Your flesh wants comfort. And Jesus and God always put you, if you want to be successful, in uncomfortable places to do your best work.
Mm.
He'll never put you in a comfortable place and make you do anything significant or special.
And you don't learn anything there.
No, the biggest, most horrible thing that ever happened in your life could be a sidewalk to your new life.
Mm.
That was what happened to me. And I'm trying to tell every single one of you, so the alarm would go off. I'd tell my wife, I'm going to start going to the gym at 5 a.m. And then 3 weeks later, I wouldn't want to get up one morning. And so I wouldn't get up. And I'm going to tell you what happened. The flesh said, sleep in. So I'd sleep in, and that felt good. But then on the way to work, I hated myself. I said, tonight I'm going to go home and study because all day I didn't sell anything. So I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to train. But then a Netflix series would be on and my wife would be watching it. And I'd say, let me just watch this tonight. And then I'd watch it and I would laugh and have fun. But then I would hate myself.
Mm.
And I learned that all the things that the flesh wants, until you deny it, you will never love yourself. Listen, let me explain this and be very clear. Everything that you want, cheeseburger, grilled chicken, what do you want?
Grilled cheeseburger.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah.
You need the grilled chicken, but you'll choose the cheeseburger.
Yeah.
When you eat it afterwards, you're sitting there, you're taking a shower at night, you're looking at yourself in the mirror, you're butt naked, no one's around but you, and you say, why in the hell can't I just keep my freaking word? Why can't I just stick to something? You know why? Because you're letting the flesh run. That's the devil. Listen, I'm going to tell you, this is spiritual warfare. I'm not a preacher. I'm here to tell you I'm a reborn again Christian. And I promise you this, the greatest guys that I study, I see them transforming. I see something happening in the world right now. I see masculinity getting restored. I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see that. Listen, a lot of people, they were like, oh, screw masculinity, screw all this. And then guess what? What did they eat? Crap sandwiches for the last 5 years. It's been junk. It's been garbage. They're going broke. And they're like, okay, wait up. It's time to become a man again. All right, cool. Now people are also becoming soldiers of the cross. What does that mean? 21st century Christian, what I believe, is not a church where people are, acting all churchy. There are people going out and helping other people transform and change their life. I believe that God's calling on strong leaders right now, not the weak, not the meek, He's calling on leaders everywhere to stand up. And by the way, when you feel that need, that calling, you have to accept it or you miss your chance. Okay. And I'm telling you, I think that calling is all across the world. If you're watching this, I promise you that calling's there. This isn't like give your life to God. This is like, hey, faith is believing in something you can't see. Do I believe that I'm going to have faith in my business and that I'm going to be successful? You better, or you're screwed.
That's right.
You better have faith to believe you're going to close that deal. You better, or you're screwed. You better believe when you and your wife are fighting that you're going to have faith that you guys are about to have the greatest marriage ever and that this fight is actually the thing that you needed so you could suffer together and get closer. Okay, it's freaking faith, dude. It's all perspective. It's the way you see it. And they say, look at the eyes through Jesus. And I'm trying to tell you, when you look at the eyes of this world, it's anxiety, it's fear, it's stress, it's greed, it's all these things. And forget about the church for a minute. This is all about Christianity.
Yeah.
This is all about the way that we should live. In everything you teach in self-development, everything, and everything that I teach, someone could open the Bible next to us, somebody who really knew it.
Yeah.
And sit there next to us and go, oh, that's in Jeremiah right there, what you just said. And you're like, what? No, this is self-development. And they're like, no, that's biblical, bro. And you're like, wait a minute. Okay, and then they're like, oh, that was in Ecclesiastes. Oh, wait, that right there was in the book of Acts. And you're like, damn it.
Yeah.
You're like, what? It's like, oh my gosh. Like it says, hold unswervingly to the hope that we profess because he who promises is grateful. Look, you said I need to be more disciplined if I want to be successful. Stop swerving, bro. It's all biblical. It's all in there. And so as I'm learning, I'm like, dude, like, how in the hell do we go so long in life and realize that all we got to do is mature and realize that, number one, leadership, who wrote the book of leadership? God, the guy that created leadership. So if we were ever going to learn self-development, it is Tim Grover, Relentless. It's Andy Frisella, the book of mental toughness. It's Chet William. It's all these books that can make us great. But first and foremost, it's the Bible. It's all sitting there. And I can't read the King James because I don't understand it. But the NIV, I get it. Today Times, I can understand it. And I'm trying to tell you, dude, listen, if you decide that you raise your hand, you say, God, if you'll change my life, if you will, I'll spend the rest of my life changing other people's lives. I give you my word. I give you my word. Don't ask him to make you more skilled because you're going to become more skilled when you accept the calling because you're going to want to do it. And another thing is that, dude, I told you, like, you have to anchor why you want to be successful to something more than money.
Yeah.
Because if you say, dude, I just want to be financially successful, dude, I'm going to tell you this, you're never going to make it. Because 100% of the people in the world want that. And if you're just saying you're going to wake up in the morning because you want to be successful, that ain't going to be enough.
That's it.
I want to wake up in the morning because I want to show my son what a man looks like. I want to show my wife what a strong husband looks like. I want to show everyone else when they get tired what the real leader does and how he doesn't stop. Even if I want to. What I want really doesn't matter at this point.
There's someone, and by the way, it's so funny. Like, you're so good as a host. I'm sitting here like, my next question is this. As I'm thinking about you're answering it, and I love it, dude, because I was just going to say, why do you want to make more money? Why do you want to work so hard? And your point was, I need to be the example to my son about what a man does.
Yeah.
Not just a business owner, but what a husband and what a father and who they are. I'll tell you, mutual friend Jesse Itzler.
Yeah,
really close to him. Unbelievable. And the thing, when I first met him, I'll never forget the first time we were...
He's a sleeper, bro. Like, if anybody knows Jesse Itzler, you underestimate him.
Oh, of course.
But first time I heard him talk,
yeah,
and he was my buddy, first time I heard him talk, I literally just started bawling.
He's unbelievable.
I'm like, I can't believe this guy is so...
He sat me down for two
things.
He said, Justin, what are your buckets? Did he do the buckets thing with you?
No, I just listened to him speak. I met him here in Phoenix and we watched him speak and
Yeah.
we stayed buddies, but first time I heard him, I knew his story, but I never heard him really talk. And he had the little DJ guy with her. Hey, and bro, dude, he had me in tears, man. But go ahead.
But
I was
the reason why I say
he's a sleeper. People underestimate him.
But it's always about his whole point to me was what is the one bucket that you can fill up 100%? And if you can go find that, you're going to find the happiness. And this is in direct alignment with what you're saying right now. And it's shocking that all these really successful entrepreneurs, whether it's you, I've been spending a lot of time with Garrett J. White, Itzler, it's all in the same alignment, right?
It's the kingdom of God.
And this is what it will take for people to wake up for 2025 is you got to first decide, right? If you want to be, I don't know what I want, then listening to Andy, listening to me is probably not going to help you because if you don't know the direction you're going in, how are we going to push you in the right direction?
Well, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I wasn't that smart. And so I'm going to reverse this for a minute because everything you're saying is right, but I want to make sure I say something in case we don't lose someone. Because you don't always have to know who you want to be. You said you need to know what you want. Dude, I feel like that's the hardest thing for people is to know what they want. Yeah. So how about we reverse it, right? Sometimes you just need to know who you don't want to be.
Yeah, don't want, yep.
Okay, so if you're watching this right now and he's like, you need to know what you want. I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes, like we're in a generation of very indecisive. We have lots of choices, lots of things. We turn on social media. Everybody's got their own thing they're winning at. It's like, which one am I going to choose? How about we just decide who we don't want to be? And then if we don't be that person, there's a good chance that like that door is going to open, even if we don't know.
What tactical advice going into 2025 can you give someone? Saying, okay, if you know what you don't want, here's 3, 4, 5 things that like tactically to get you actually moving your ass in the right direction. Would you have any like from simple things like waking up earlier?
Hell, I gotta play. I'm going to tell you how to bake the cake.
There you go. Let's go.
And if you take these instructions, you're going to end up with a cake, even if you're not a very good cook.
I'm a terrible cook, but I'll bake cake.
Yeah, but because it'll come out as a cake once you put it in the oven. Number one, you got to at least spend, 15, 30 minutes a day. The greatest gift I said in the beginning of this that you'll ever give yourself. It's in a Ferrari. It's not money. It's spending time working on you. Doesn't have anything to do with your kids. Doesn't have anything to do with your wife. Doesn't have anything to do with your business. It is basically you spending time working on you. I learned this really too late in life, but my mind wasn't my friend, and it's never been my friend. And every time that I've listened to my mind, I didn't take the risk. I didn't go all in. I didn't give 110%. I quit too early. I didn't go and ask for that sell or that deal when I should have. I thought less of myself when I could have probably had it. And my mind is not my friend. Yeah. So every morning, I said morning, okay? Because it means if the whole day is going to count, you're going to do something early, so that the whole day counts and you don't miss anything. I think in the morning, I think you have to brainwash. People hear that, they don't like it. I have to brainwash myself that number one, I have value. I've never seen anybody be successful without valuing themselves. So I value me, and then also I make sure my perspective is right.
Not to cut you off, but As a Man Thinketh, I'm sure you've read that book 400 times.
Yeah.
That's all he's talking about. It's probably the most well-renowned book that you could possibly think of in self-development. Yeah. As a Man Thinketh. That's it. You control this bad boy. You're a garden. Yeah. And if you're a garden, you can grow cactus and crummy, plants, or you can grow roses.
Yeah. And if you don't value yourself, no one else is going to value you.
Yeah.
Okay. I see people who walk in a room, and I can tell who values himself, and I can tell who don't really fast. And I don't want anybody in my team that doesn't value themselves. They're very toxic. And I love you, and we want to train you, but like we can't be around you until you start valuing yourself. So anyway, so let's say we wake up in the morning. First thing that I do is I cold plunge. You don't have to, but I cold plunge me and my wife for 5 minutes. I think we like to do something that sucks together. And then that really helps us bond. And then we'd go jump in the hot tub for 5 minutes. And then me and her laugh. And then we go get our cup of coffee. And then we get dressed and go to the gym, which leads me to the second part. I get in my self-development every day in the gym. That's where I get it. So I'm going to tell you this. I believe in this little phase. It's physical, mental, business. If you're physically taking care of yourself, you will be mentally right, and you will kill it in business. You can't compete with listen, and you'll get a slew of people that want to fight me here on this. You can't compete with someone who's in better shape than you. Eventually, at some point, you're going to die earlier. You're going to run slower. You're going to have health problems. something's going to happen. Or maybe you couldn't hire the right team because they don't look up to you. People will choose their mentors over money right now. And so even if I'm more talented than you, if I was going to say it, I'm not nothing against fat people, but if I'm fat and out of shape and you're ripped and you're in shape, and someone comes in for a job interview and it's a 19-year-old kid, and I say, hey man, and I've got a jet and $40 million and I'm a fat guy, I want you to work for me. You're ripped, you're shredded, you're on fire, you got, great energy, and you're like, dude, come work for me. I'd love to mentor you. I'm going to tell you this, even if I go to pay twice as much and I'm the overweight guy, they're going to go work for you. Yeah. People will choose their mentor over money. So listen to me. If you want an unfair advantage, if you want to be like everyone else, if you want to be like most people, fine, don't exercise. That's fine. Most people don't. Most people won't listen to this. But those of you that do, watch what happens. Okay? So I would say spend 15 to 30 minutes a day spending time working on yourself. Yeah. I would say be grateful. Okay? At the end of the day, everything that you have now, you probably prayed for at some point.
That's right.
And you have that now. So don't be ungrateful. Nobody wants to be around ungrateful people. And Ed Milet's a good buddy of mine. I was just talking to him 2 days ago, and he goes, Andy, one of the things that I like, and I'll never forget this, and it made very much, because I've been humbled my whole life. Yeah. I haven't been humble. I've been humbled.
That's right.
Every time I start to make a lot of money and I'm killing it, it's like I get distant from God and I start to forget who I am. And I get so wrapped up in business, and he always humbles me. And it's patterns and cycles, patterns and cycles, patterns and cycles. I'm so sick of patterns and cycles. And I've stayed pretty humble the last 2 years. And I've really tried to give everything that I can to everyone that I meet, fill my own cup every day, re-empty it every day. And Ed's like, dude, it's very rare that you'll find someone that's getting all the accolades. They're blowing, they're out there making money, they're doing well. And then they can stay humble. They can still carry humility. And most people don't. Yeah. And then they have to be humbled. And he's like, dude, if you can stay in that path, I promise you, you have no idea how many people you impact, how many people you change. So just anybody watching this right now, like, become great because others are watching. Yeah. Become great. Be an example of human excellence because someone else is watching. Get in the gym. Work out hard. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb. No text messages. No emails. No phone calls. The only person that can call me when I'm in the gym is my wife. There's only one person that the phone will go through with. Other than that, I got an hour and a half working on me. Why? Because honestly, I'm not very good to most people when I don't take care of myself. I'm going to be for real. Can't be. Our relationship would be in the trash can. Me as a husband, I wouldn't be without God, I wouldn't be a very good husband. Without God, I wouldn't be a very good dad. There's just certain things that I have to do. And if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to take care of anybody else. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. So I find that this love and this appreciation for myself and like this waking up and doing something hard first thing in the morning, and spending time working on me before all the busyness occurs. I don't have anxiety. I'm super focused. That's right. I'm a sniper at my career. I'm really good to others. I don't get triggered easily, which I think is a big deal because at the end of your anger is the end of your fate. And most people, the reason why they lose their whole life is because they can't control their damn anger. Yeah. And they lose it one day and they lose their best employee. They lose their wife. They lose their relationship with their kids.
And that's something I talk a lot about is the ability to have moments in the morning. I say win the morning. Because if you win the morning with yourself and you get the things that you need out of the way, selfishly, be as selfish as you can in the morning, gym, reading, meditating, stretching, whatever that thing is. I don't love answering emails, but I'll even say if that's your moment that you can do it and no one bothers you, fine. But if you can fill your cup up, then you can take all this stuff that goes on in life. Listen, you run $100+ million a year business. You don't think you have shit you got to handle. You know it. They may not. They think you shit gold probably. And I'll tell you right now.
Well, you know what to do with.
For sure. But you can have the smile on your face. You can be the best friend, brother. You said, bro, I'm on fire right now. Let's get this podcast rolling. Yeah. You weren't fucking joking, but it's because you focus on you first. Because you don't have the energy to have my friendship right now. If you're fucking by 5 o'clock tonight, you're drinking and boozing and you don't have that. You're not taking care of yourself. So it's obvious, but I want everyone else out there, like what his little recipe was, one of the biggest part of it is get yourself filled first and do it in the morning. I think everyone's got to win the morning if you want to win a day. If you want to win a week, then you got to win the days. So it's just perpetual. You start with the morning. Great. You won the morning. Now you can go win the day. And then the next day comes and then you look back, you won the week. You won the month. In his case, he won the last 2 damn years, brother. I've been in awe of what you've been able to do, and everyone should be, by the way. Anyone who's in this platform being an influencer or a guru or whatever we want to name ourselves.
Well, I think anyone can do it, man. I'm not
can.
I'm not even joking. Listen, you want to know how to go viral? Change faster than anyone ever thought that you could change, and everybody will just be in awe. Dude, go. If you go to YouTube and you type in Andy Elliott and you go oldest to newest, you go newest, you're gonna
do this now.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I'm not even joking. Like, this is a test. Like, just go oldest to newest, and you're gonna say that's not him. I want to say unrecognizable. I want if you're listening to this or watching it, I want you to become unrecognizable. I want you to know, like, humans, a lot of them are really beautiful people, but because they just eat crap, they don't exercise, they don't take care of themselves, they don't smile enough, they're not around the right people. It's your life. You own it. You can control it. Don't put your head down. Even if you have to be alone and go through a dark phase of recreating yourself, listening to the right stuff, recreating your mind, recreating your body. Dude, body recomposition is real. Your face will change. Your body will change. Everything will change. And totally in 2 years, remember I said 2 to 3 years will change everything in your life. Dude, you'll look up and honestly, those friends that you always wanted to have, that girl you always wanted to get, that company you always wanted to work for, that income you always wanted to have, I don't know how it happens, because I think I just want to give the credit to God. It's a God thing. But when you decide to step up and be a leader, which step 1 in leadership is self-leadership. Step 2 is leading others. You don't get to step 2 without step 1. So you have to lead yourself. I see doors opening for all of my clients. And they're like, oh my God, Andy, I can't believe this thing's happening. And I say, you baked the cake.
That's it.
You ran the play. You did it, man.
But in no one likes this word, but you were selfish. You focused on yourself first. And if you take that in the best possible form of the word selfish, again, you now can go run the play each and every day, and then you win the day, which means you win your year. Because a lot of people say, I'm going to change as the new year. But if they become honest with themselves, are your actions in any level of alignment with what you want?
That's right.
And then you just answer the question. Yeah. And if they're not, you make a decision, right?
Yeah. And I'll say one thing. If you've been watching this podcast, if anything has triggered you, there's been anything that's triggered you, we're like, that's the thing.
That's it.
You need to work on.
Yeah.
That's it. And so that's how I found my greatness, was realizing that the things that triggered me were the things that I needed to change right now.
Bro.
And my fitness was one of them. I was very out of shape, and my wife triggered me, and it really upset me. And then I got over my ego, and I owned it, and I looked in the mirror, and I made a decision to change. And, it took me 20 years to mess my body up. It took me about a year to bring it back.
Yeah.
Best decision of my life.
Bro, we could do this for hours, and we're gonna.
Yeah, we will, for sure.
Brother, this was a great episode. Obviously, if you don't know who Andy Elliott is, you do now. Make sure you're following him on all the platforms.
Official Andy Elliott. You can check it out.
Official Andy Elliott. Follow him everywhere. This man is genius. He's brilliant, but he will make you push yourself. Brother, I can't be more proud of you. And
I'm glad
you're here, and thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
If this impacted any of you right now, go share this with 2 of your friends. Make sure that it impacts them too. See you on the next episode.